Good afternoon, everyone. Lesley Myrick here, interior designer and business coach with Nancy Quinn and Profit Insiders Coaching. Today, I get to welcome one of our newest sponsors, Danae Branson, from not only Elite Design Assistants, but she just launched a new company called NicheMavin, and that's what we're talking about today. So welcome, Danae. I'm glad you're here.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So Danae and I have worked together for a few years now. I have hired virtual assistants through her other company, Elite, but NicheMavin is the new kid on the block. And I'm really excited to hear about this because the nutshell version is it is like Upwork, but interior design specific. So give us the intro, Danae. Tell me what was NicheMavin born from and how is it working and what are designers using it for?
Yep, absolutely. So, well, as a lot of people know, or as you know, Lesley, I run Elite Design Assistants. And that was where people were coming to us for more kind of long-term business relationships. It's still, no minimums as needed, yet they were really wanting to find partners kind of to help them out ongoing. But we would occasionally get those people who would come to us for kind of like a one-off deal. And we just kind of thought, well, we do a lot of work doing these matches with Elite Design Assistants and making sure everything's perfect for long-term, business relationships and all of that. And so we really wanted to have a platform where they could go to that was specific to interior design and more, US based kind of freelancers that they could just hop on, check out the freelancers or even post, what they're looking for. And then go that route. We've had a lot of people that have come to us that tried Upwork, but it's very saturated. They weren't finding people specific to interior design. They weren't finding people who were more local to where they were, the US based, so to speak. And so we just wanted basically another opportunity for them to get a freelancer to work, more in a gig based type of situation.
Yeah. So that if I'm understanding correctly, then NicheMavin is more like you have a project, you have a specific need, you need someone for a thing. So maybe you need a 3D rendering done or some, you hand them a as-built floor plan and you need them to redraw it for you. Whereas Elite would be more of, and it can be both, I'm sure, but you need a virtual assistant ongoing to help with procurement, ordering, or a regular person sort of in your back pocket for drafting or rendering or things like that.
Yeah, exactly. So like for NicheMavin, a lot of times we would see like architects that maybe don't do 3D renders, but they have one client who's very insistent on a 3D render. Well, they could go to NicheMavin, find somebody to do that render for them. They might only need that one time, And so we did have clients that were coming to Elite Design Assistants for just one-off projects. We literally would work with them one time, invoice them one time. We just kind of started to feel like there had to be an easier, better way to kind of service those clients.
Yeah.
And that's how NicheMavin was born.
I love it. This gets me so excited because I have a need for both in my business. And I think a lot of designers do. I would love to hear about the idea of how NicheMavin can help designers scale, because I think when it comes to hiring, there's a scary factor of like what's it going to cost? I can't afford it. I don't have a team. I don't want a team. But this is a way that designers can kind of scale and amplify their team without taking on overhead, which I think is really cool.
Yes, exactly. So especially for a lot of newer designers that are needing help in specific areas. But again, maybe it's not very frequent. And they don't want to have to worry about keeping somebody busy ongoing, that kind of thing. NicheMavin is great for. I mean, I do have clients that'll still come to me and say, hey, I need help, but it might only be for like 2-3 hours a month. I don't want to hire someone through Elite Design Assistants and then down the road, they find other clients that offer more hours.
Yeah.
And then I'm now without that person.
Yeah.
Yes. And so NicheMavin is great for that as well. You can go over to NicheMavin, find somebody to help you out. But again, just that growing and scaling piece, like you said, you're not having to hire in-house. You don't have the overhead. A lot of times too, right now, people are having difficulty finding local talent. Maybe their first goal was to hire local, but that's just becoming a little bit more difficult. So they're going to go the virtual route. But again, it's as little time as they want. I mean, there's no minimums, but they can continue to grow and scale their business, and they can learn along the way too.
I love it. That makes me so happy that you're doing this, Danae, because oh my gosh, almost 10 years ago now, I would have hired my first virtual assistant through another organization. And I think it was a 5-hour minimum per week, which I know it doesn't sound like much, but at the time it was like, well, like that's a big commitment. But I will say, as soon as I had my VA, I was like, oh no, I got more for you to do. Like I'm going to easily fill those 5 hours. So I think this is such a great way for designers who have been true solopreneurs and really bootstrapping and doing everything on their own to start to let go of some of those tasks and, things that are on their plate that need to get done, but don't need to get done by them.
Exactly. Yep. And they can always kind of like tiptoe into it then. Go to NicheMavin, find your freelancer, start with just one thing.
Yeah.
See how it works. A lot of times, I mean, the people are very experienced. They're really great to work with. But a lot of times designers have a little bit of trouble just handing that over to someone, which I completely understand. It's your business. It's your baby. And that's how I look at it. This is my business. It's my baby. So I only want the very best people to be working for my clients. And so that's why I just tell people, you got to start somewhere. Give it a shot, try it. You'll see that you'll love it. And then, it makes it that much easier than to outsource.
Yeah. You have just like gathered all the people and put them in a virtual room for us and said, here's your team.
Yes.
If you want to do this task and get her done.
Yep, exactly. I always tell people it's kind of a bizarre superpower, but I have a knack for just matching the correct people, for networking, for matching, for, connecting people so that they can continue to grow their businesses. And
I love it.
So I just leaned into that.
I think that's great. So, okay. We get a lot of designers in Profit Insiders Academy who are at the point where they need help, but don't know where to start. We're telling you where to start. This is great. Elite Design Assistants if you need someone ongoing. NicheMavin if it's more gig-based, dipping your toes in, project-based. So what does it look like for a designer if they're like, okay, I hear you. I suck at X thing. I really would like to hire someone for it and find someone. What does that process look like for someone as a designer to get started with NicheMavin and actually get a project going or hand off something to that freelancer?
Right. So there's a couple of different ways. They can always go to the site and they can look at the freelancers that are on there and directly connect with somebody that they think would be a good fit for what they're looking for. Or they can go on and do what we call a job posting, but basically just kind of putting out there what they're looking for, if they have a budget, all of that kind of good stuff on there, similar to other freelance marketplace, platforms. And then that way, then the freelancers can come to them through the platform and let them know, hey, I would be great at this, here's my proposal. Or so there's a couple of different ways they can go about it, whatever they're most comfortable.
Okay. So you can sort of go the approach of here is the task. I need someone that would excel in this, or I'm looking through and this person looks like he or she would be a great fit for what I need.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
I'm excited. I want to go just find people to work with now. I'm like, what else? What can I get off my plate? What can I outsource?
Exactly. Yeah. And we say you can outsource anything that can be done virtually.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people, when I started even Elite Design Assistants, we maybe only offered a couple of services, but our clients kept coming to us. Well, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And we just continued to grow the list of services. The same with NicheMavin. These people offer a wide variety of services, and pretty much anything that can be done virtually, they can do. They've got years of experience in interior design. They know the lingo, they know the industry, they know that designers are juggling a million balls at once and they need help.
Yes.
So yeah. And they're used to working like designers work, where the work ebbs and flows, so they might be super busy certain weeks and slower other weeks, but that's the beauty of the people who come to us that want to work either at NicheMavin or Elite Design Assistants, is they work just like designers, which is why we have the no minimums as needed or the gig based, And a lot of times the gig-based freelancers, they love to work in a quote gig-based format, which is why I might have freelancers at NicheMavin that are not at Elite Design Assistants, because they don't want anyone who would be more ongoing long-term.
Yeah.
They love to do a project, get it done, move on to the next project. They maybe don't want that 10 hours a week ongoing that we do see more so, at Elite Design Assistants. So it is a little bit different freelancer as well at NicheMavin.
I love that. Like, you're meeting designers where they are and, meeting their needs. I have two sort of related questions for you.
Yes.
The first is, what do you find designers first start to outsource through NicheMavin? And what do you find designers outsource the most? I'm wondering if those are similar or different, but where do people sort of dip their toe in? And maybe it's not just one thing, but is there something that you see where people tend to start here and then a lot of designers utilize X service over here?
Yes, I would say they typically will start with some sort of CAD project or a 3D render. They typically start there. That is also most popular, services requested. Sometimes it might be like one sourcing project as well.
Okay.
Like a lot of designers will do some, maybe they do in-house sourcing or whatever, but then they have a project that just was at a much larger scale and they need help. Sometimes I've seen like residential designers get a job in the commercial space that they really just don't want to say no to. They submitted that proposal, they've got it, they're doing it, but now they need somebody with more commercial expertise.
Ooh. We have a client right now, one of our designers going through that, who's figuring out how to do it. I'm going to give her a little call after this and let her know.
Yeah. So it's a good way for designers to maybe dip their toe outside of their comfort zone to offer other services to their clients by outsourcing it, with someone and then getting into that space maybe. Yeah. As designers grow and scale and change. And sometimes they have things they always wanted to get into, but just whether they didn't have the manpower, didn't find the time, didn't have the expert to help them, this is now a way for them to maybe expand on their services.
I never thought about that approach of, if you're stepping into a service model or a service offering that you're not quite as familiar with, that you can tap into the expertise of this team. You don't have to know about everything to do these projects successfully.
Yep, exactly. So we do see that as well. Sometimes, again, to the sourcing, maybe it's a different aesthetic than they're used to, or maybe it's a different, either you do high-end luxury, mid, or, it's a different kind of level of sourcing. And sometimes it's just, they want the expertise of somebody else that maybe has other vendors that they've worked with through other firms or teams that they can help them say, hey, let's set you up with XYZ. We think these vendors would work really well for what we're trying to do with your clients.
So you can really leverage this. It's not just, hey, can you do a rendering for me? Which obviously is valuable. I outsource my renderings too, but this is an area that I don't know enough about yet. Can you show me what I don't know? Introduce me to new options, vendors, opportunities.
Yes.
I hadn't thought of it from that angle before, Danae. That's very cool.
Yeah. And so sometimes, people just want to kind of try it out, and see how this is going to work and see where it can lead them. It's not to say you're not going to find a long-term fit on NicheMavin, but I do tell clients, just if you're looking for, obviously go there for gig base. If you are looking for long-term, just make sure the freelancer is open to that as well. Yes. If you are doing the gig based, it's working out down the road, you decide to go for long-term, you don't find somebody on NicheMavin, come to me at Elite Design Assistants. Because again, we have potentially different pools of freelancers, and we're happy to help set anybody up with somebody who's looking for more of a long-term fit.
I love it. And I will say, and you mentioned this earlier, and I agree, you have a superpower of connecting the right people together. I've had very good luck with people I have hired through you and through Elite. So thank you for doing what you do for us designers and kind of taking that scary factor out of outsourcing and hiring, because I know it can be a real roadblock to designers in their growth and in their scaling.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And it is one of those things which is interesting because designers are entrepreneurs, which means they're risk takers.
Yeah.
And the only way to grow and scale and is to take more risks, which is sometimes in their mind is that outsourcing piece. It's hard to kind of let go a little bit,
It is.
but you can take baby steps. That's okay. I mean, you know,
And the people
everybody
you're hiring know this industry. They know this world. They know the work we do.
Yes. Yeah. And they do know clients that tell us, hey, I've never outsourced before. I've never worked with somebody virtual before. I might need a little bit more help or hand holding. Absolutely. Because everybody that's a freelancer through either of my platforms have years of experience working remotely. They are going to help, you know, help them in the best practices and sharing information and, you know, how does this work and what do you need from me? What do you need to be successful? They're going to lay that all up front so that when they get to work, they can just get to work.
That's really exciting, Danae. I love this, and I'm so excited that you are here sharing about it. This is going to be a great year. There's so many opportunities for us designers. I know lots of people are really busy right now. So if you do need help, check out NicheMavin.com. I'm making sure I got that right. Yes. It is NicheMavin.com. Find your person, get some help. You don't have to do the business alone. And if you need more than just a gig or a one-time thing, reach out to Danae. She's going to be able to find someone amazing to support you in your business and help you scale and grow. So Danae, thank you so much. We will see you back here next month.
Yes, sounds great, Lesley. Thank you.